Now, before we begin this wonderful evening, I would like to introduce you to a very impressive and knowledgeable man who has been with the Harvard Club for many years, Mr. Rich Petersen. Mr. Petersen will be giving you a brief history of the beautiful and historic Harvard Club of Boston. Thank you.
Welcome to the Harvard Club of Boston. My name is Rich Petersen, and I am the captain of the Banquet Captains here at the club. I came here for 1 year, 15 years ago. I now call it home. I would like to give you some history of the club. In 1908, 22 men started the Harvard Club of Boston. The dues were $5 a year. By 1911, there were 1,200 members. They knew they needed a permanent home. So in 1912, the property here was bought for $200,000. The cost of the building was estimated at $480,000. But the actual cost was $700,000 when the building was finally completed in 1913. When the doors opened, a room with a bath was $2 a night. Breakfast was 20 cents, and lunch and dinner was served at 65 cents per person. Where do we sign up for those prices? The club's historic and ongoing mission is to encourage the social, intellectual, and athletic interest of its members, to promote the welfare of Harvard University, to assist students with financial aid, and foster the Harvard spirit in all men and women. Did someone mention women? In 1940, a vote passed. Women could come into the club. Women would dine in the women's annex. True story. And the men would dine here in Harvard Hall. Crazy concept. In 1971, the club welcomed women to full and active memberships at the Harvard Club, which was the same year the university went co-ed. Here at the main club, we have 42 overnight rooms, a state-of-the-art fitness center, 12 squash courts, and 3 restaurants. The formal dining area being the Boston Room, the second being the Grill Room, which is a little less formal for our sports fans. The third restaurant, my favorite, is our employee cafe, which serves up sumptuous meals 3 times a day for approximately 150 employees. Our dedicated team takes ownership in whatever jobs we perform. We fine-tune operations on a daily basis. Our mission, we want to make the club your home away from home. We consistently strive for the big wow. We have 11 banquet and meeting spaces which can accommodate 200 to 500 persons. Noteworthy rooms, and I will start with this one. Our great room, Harvard Hall. Thousands of wedding receptions have taken place in this great hall. Many brides throw their bouquets off what we call the bride's balcony. Also, Santa Claus, or Tomten for my Swedish friends, makes his first appearance every year from that balcony, ringing his bells much to the wonderment of the assembled children at member and staff children's Christmas parties. 4 stories high, everything in this room is original. From the mahogany to the oak to the marble floors you are standing on, to the sterling silver wall sconces to the 3 sterling silver grand chandeliers. The chandeliers have come down only once. No fear. A professional company brought them down, took them out of the club, and dipped them for cleaning and restoration. They are dusted on a regular basis on ladders by hand with a feather duster. When built in 1913, The two fireplaces in this room were the only sources of heat in the entire club. The organ pipes are original. Today, however, no keyboard exists, but when operational, it was the largest in the world of its kind. The portraits that adorn this room are of former presidents of the university. The tapestries depict houses at the university. In the 1960s, professional boxing matches were held in this hall once a month. The cigars were puffing, the cognac was flowing. More recently, in the 90s, US Open Squash Championships were held in this hall. Over the years, many notables have been in this great hall to dine or to speak. The list includes Eleanor Roosevelt, Senator Ted Kennedy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Barbara and President Herbert Walker Bush, Vice President Dick Cheney, President Jimmy Carter, President Gerald Ford, General Douglas MacArthur, Henry Kissinger, Julia Child, and the King of Jordan. Other notable rooms in this club are the Massachusetts room on the second floor, where we had the reception. In this room are plaques with titles, dates, years at Harvard of 16 US senators, 8 Supreme Court justices, 48 governors, and 3 presidents, John F. Kennedy, John Adams, and John Quincy Adams. It should be noted that there are many other notables that went to Harvard. However, the strict criteria here at the club dictated to make the wall, you had to reside in the state of Massachusetts, thus the name of the room. In modern times, our current Massachusetts governor, DeVal Patrick, is a member of the club, and he may someday make the wall. Former President George Herbert Walker Bush may have made the wall because he was born in Milton, Massachusetts, but he opted to go to Yale. President George W. Bush holds an MBA from Harvard University, but his residence was Texas. Last but not least, current President Barack Obama attended Harvard Law School, but resided in Chicago. Next to the Massachusetts room, we have the Aesculapian room. Aesculapius is the Roman god of medicine. There are hand-painted murals of American medicine from the early days, including the discovery of anesthesia. Today we have 5,500 members. We have reciprocity with 136 city clubs worldwide. There are over 100 Harvard clubs in the world. Only Boston and New York have clubhouses. All the other clubs are virtual, meaning they all meet at hotels or restaurants and do not have formal clubhouses. The Harvard Club of Boston, we also boast a downtown venue, opened in 1976, a sister clubhouse. Or should I say brother clubhouse? No, 1976 makes it a sister clubhouse. That venue boasts spectacular views of the Boston Seaport and Financial District. A $2.5 million makeover was completed in 2003. In closing, I hope you have enjoyed your walk through our times, and again, welcome to our house.